All right, hello everybody. I am William C. Tracy with Space Wizard Science Fantasy, and this is going to be our first video for our launch party, getting ready for the Year 4 campaign. This is part one of Year 4. We're going to be releasing 7 new queer science fiction and fantasy books, and today I am with Allie Mead. So I'll let her introduce herself.
Yep. Hi, I am Allie Mead, and I wrote the book Isaac.
Great.
Um,
And so
sorry, one.
tell us
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about it. What's the
yeah,
what's the pitch?
yeah. So, Isaac is set in the future. Is it's imagining a future where like sort of humanoid robotics, like AI, has developed enough where we can have these caregiver robots. They can help take care of people. Older patients, people with dementia, people with disabilities, people who need kind of that 24-hour care. And the technology is so advanced that these robots basically pass as human.
Mhm.
Our main character is Eleanor. She's kind of just really struggling with loneliness, not really speaking with her family. Her dad passes away. She goes home to kind of, help settle things and help with the funeral. And she realizes that since she's been gone, he has this caregiver robot, and she convinces her sister to just let him take her home, or let her take him home, and just kind of help with that.
Yeah,
She doesn't necessarily need it for health conditions or anything, but she takes him home just kind of have a
as a
friend.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a really interesting book, and I don't want to go any farther because that sort of gets into spoilers. But
right.
um, I love this book, and obviously I picked it up for publication, so it's coming out
Thanks
July
again.
15th. Um, so it's a very good story, very I don't know, bittersweet. It's a yeah, it's a really good investigation into like what makes us human and you know what's the line between human and programming. I will say I hadn't told you this yet, but the copy editor who worked on this who's our junior copy editor, she sent it on and was like, yeah, I finished this in about 2 hours and cried at the end. So I guess 10 out of 10. So
Well, that's that. First of all, that's great to hear, but it's also I had one of my friends, as a beta reader when I was kind of ready to really start the revising process. And one thing she said was, she's like, I got your email. I opened up the Word document. I was just going to save it to the desktop on my computer and work on it later. Because she and I have similar work where we're working remote. And she said she just caught the first page of it just in saving the document and just stopped what she was doing and read in about 2 hours because she just had
yep,
to know what happened.
yeah,
So that absolutely means the world to me that that's been at
yeah.
least a couple people's reactions now.
Oh yeah, well, and mine too. That's why I picked this
Yes.
up because
Yes.
you sent it in, and I was like, what I usually do with that is like, okay, I'll skim a couple pages, see if it's legible, and if I want to publish this, and did the same thing, read the whole thing that night, and I do not usually do that, I have to say. So yeah, it's a very captivating book, and it's a I guess we say novella length. It's what about 30,000 words, something like 20, 25, 30, something like that.
I was keeping track of the word count at one point.
Yeah,
I'd say somewhere between 20,000 25,000.
yeah, something like that. So it's a relatively short story, but very, very on point, very, very captivating story.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, and we're looking forward to getting this out. So I guess for you, what was your like inspiration behind this? Did this come from any like real life experiences or just thinking about it or what?
Yeah, so the idea was actually like back in December 2019, so very much before sort of this public talk about, ChatGPT or anything
Hmm.
like that. And it was just kind of a moment in my life where I had friends, but wasn't necessarily like, I wasn't even like taking the step to like, oh, I want to go do something. Let me try to like reach out. It's like I just really wasn't um trying to connect with people when I was feeling down. And I just remember having the thought about like, I don't know why it popped in my head, but just something of like, it would just be so much easier to just have like a robot that I could just power on to like go to the movies with. Like somehow that seems so much
Yeah.
easier than just reaching out to friends. And then I remember thinking that and going, oh, that's probably something I should unpack.
And this
And
is why we all write books.
yeah, I remember seeing a post online that just basically said something like is like you have a problem and then you sort of like let me like just create a like a sad little character about it and I'll just process things that way. and then, spend time working on it. And I will say, just I've gotten better about reaching out to people and just really expanding that friend group. But yeah, this was just definitely a moment in my life where I just really was just not making that step to connect.
Yeah. And I guess that's sort of almost prophetic because of all the, stuff with COVID and really, yeah, I was assuming you wrote this like in that time frame, but writing this even beforehand really hits those notes and I think really connects with a lot of what people are feeling, in the past few years. Um, have you seen, and I actually have not seen it, but the movie, I think it's Dog and Robot or something. Um,
No.
okay, it's I haven't seen it myself, so I can't make comparisons. But from the trailers, it looks like a little dog anthropomorphic world creates a robot friend and or buys a robot friend, and
Mm.
they go off and have a friendship. So it reminded me of this similar. So I need to go see the movie. And if I guess if anybody watching this, if you know about it, leave a comment and let us know. Um, so yeah, what I guess are you any other projects in store? Anything else you're working on right now?
Yeah, not necessarily science fiction, but a couple years, a book of like poetry collection of essays. A couple years ago, my brother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Sorry.
And even though I didn't really consider myself, much of a poet, I just found like sort of in processing his diagnosis, I just found myself writing more and more poems and then just jotting down uh essay ideas of just and he passed away about a year after that diagnosis. And so I haven't it's I so I have poems written. I haven't taken that step to write the essay, start doing some revising, but that's just um when I was working on Isaac, it was just sort of like it's like I knew there was something to the idea because I just couldn't stop thinking about it. Like even after writing a draft, I just kept thinking of different things. And so what I'm picturing for the essays and poetry is just one of those words like that's just kind of what's taking up brain space right now. So I want to
Yeah.
spend some time on that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I look forward to that. Do you have anything else published or anything else out there that people can find to read of yours? Or is this our first publication?
It's the first novella, so it's like the excuse me, first longer work. I have some short stories and poems. I should have tried to like gather up where the
Yeah.
links are so I could send that to you. Um, it's one of them's through my alma mater, so University of North Dakota's flood wall. There's a couple pieces on there. Um, Shoot, I have more than that. Well, some of the poems I was talking about my brother got accepted by. Now I can't remember it either. I want to say it's Northern Mirror. It's another I want to say Fargo, North Dakota.
Okay.
These are all things I should probably double check
Yeah.
so people aren't looking in the wrong places.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, send me that. We will put it
Yes.
in the description and I'll
Yeah.
make sure that people can get to your other writing as well so they can get a taste of it and then get ready to order Isaac from the campaign.
Perfect.
Um, so yeah, so I guess real quick before we wrap up, that's how the campaign works. If you're not familiar with it, you come in, look at all these great books that are coming out. You can get any one of them. You can get 3 or 5 of them. You can actually get a subscription to get every single book as it comes out, which of course includes Isaac. And I'm sure Ellie will be very happy if you get your own copy of it. You can get it in ebook or paperback, and then we'll send it out from the campaign directly after the campaign's over. So yeah, this is our first video. So we'll have a bunch more with some other authors. We'll have some with me. We'll have some with my wife, and we'll have a lot of fun with this. So get ready to come see the campaign. I think it's May 29th is when it starts. So come in, have a great first few days. Back Isaac, read about Allie and what she has done. Uh, any last words or anything before we wrap up?
Yeah, well, I guess one correction on myself already. It was
Yeah,
December 2018 first got the idea. Spring 2019 really working on a first draft, and yeah, then COVID happened. It's like, oh, we're all talking about loneliness and connection right now.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just I'm hoping I'm excited for people to read the book. I'm hoping they have similar reactions to you and your copy editor, where
Yeah.
this doesn't feel like a slog to get through. Um,
No, it's it's a great read. Very, very captivating. I don't want to say it's not bad in any sense. It's a bittersweet. It's a great story. It's something you want to read. Go back the campaign. Go get your copy of Isaac. Um, and we'll be back later with more author interviews. But thank you for joining us today, Allie, and we'll talk to you all later.
Thank
All right,
you. Take care.
bye bye.
Bye.